Welcome back, Andy Cizek. It's been a while. I really wanted to have Andy here because we've got a lot of requests on the channel to have Andy and I, in particular, talk about Sam Carter. And so this song is a perfect example. Thanks for being here, man.
My pleasure, man. Thanks for having me.
Blackhole. We got to just talk about that intro just right there. There's so many things going on from like production and different textures of screams right off the bat. So we hear those lows on the wings, but talk about his ramp up there with his voice, his true voice there, and then going up into that scream. And of course, there's a lot of mic distortion on it, but
yeah,
give us that process.
This is that classic angsty, oh no, my mom grounded me type of thing. That's what I like to call it when I do it. I'm getting really mad and I'm sort of going in and out of a scream.
He goes full into it there.
Yeah. All the way.
Oh, I mean, that's your false chord. And it sounds like in that case, he's using a lot more air than we hear typically from that sort of false chord. I mean, it is kind of an air dump, right? Like, listen.
Yeah.
It's almost.
That's sick because it's not like he has to do like an entire long line where he needs to conserve, all of his air. It's just like you said, he's dumping it all out, and it sounds freaking cool. Oh, and I'm like, I'm out of breath right now, but it sounded awesome.
It's super like nasal thing happening in the back. Did you hear that?
Yeah, play that again. Yeah.
Oh, that was a neat transition. Wow. Where it was like he was up and he's doing that same thing that, frustrated teenager thing. And then for 1 second, he drops down. I've heard you do that before on recordings where you're up and then you drop down with a completely different technique for screaming.
Yeah.
And there's overdubs happening there. Like I can hear that, but I also think that in a live situation, he would do both of those things.
Oh, yeah. He does, and he can. He's got great control over his voice. This is an example of someone who's been doing this, metal, heavy screaming technique thing for well over a decade, and he's really gotten to know himself and his mechanism inside. So he, at will, he can switch very quickly from fry to false.
The main reason I love having Andy on the channel is that he brings a very different perspective from someone who is touring year-round, from someone who is making recordings and teaching, offering insights on these sounds and these types of performances. I mean, he's living this. If you'd like to go deeper with Andy, click the link below and start by joining his free warm-ups course.
Monumental Vocal Warm-Ups with Andy Cizek.
And you can get started on how to set your voice up for success with screaming, singing, and all sorts of things in between. I love the sheen that he's got on his voice.
I actually feel like in this song, in this chorus, it's more cleaned up than I've ever heard it.
I agree.
Usually it's like, very pretty! But now it's like, "Ah, so hello!" It's definitely cleaner. And I think, again, that just comes with him becoming more and more comfortable with his voice and learning how to use his instrument. Now he can add or remove that distortion at will. So that sheen you're hearing, it's just, he's dialing it back even more. I don't think I've heard him sing
that clean, that high.
Cleanly before. Very, very cool.
But really heating it up there on that, on that note, it's so, but it's not as screamy as we've heard him. He's really dialing up that contrast.
That's right.
Mine. That's hard to get, like, because when I do that in my range, it's either like super thin, mine, which is you don't want that, or mine, which is you still have that pitch, but he's got that really nice middle ground.
He's doing a very good, healthy chest and head voice mix. So, instead of like, mine, it's like, mine. It's very like, lifted and built. Dude's got such good control over his voice and so many tools at his disposal. It's inspiring.
I love that in the back.
Yeah, that's a really cool layer.
There's more of that. I love his down in his voice and then abandoning up there constantly. It's just such a journey with every phrase.
And he has a lot of his own like personality in his screams as well that I really like. You can always tell it's him. It doesn't just sound like a generic scream, It's like, rah, yeah, rah! He's got so much of his own voice in there as well.
Yeah, he's always I think part of it is he's always grounding in his true voice without the scream, and then of course not fully abandoning to it. Yeah, there's and the other thing is, this is not, and this is more close to what you do in that it's not like a breath-based scream. You're building this constriction over your voice, over your voice that's actually going.
It's the result of making crazy, goofy sounds for years and years and years.
Seriously, it's like every other word is a moan and every other word is a scream.
You know what I really noticed too about Sam? It's something that I have sort of adapted as well, is that I think a lot of us metal vocalists, when we first come up, we're doing a lot more of this, that false chord stuff. And then we notice it wears on us really fast and it spends our voice quicker. So we sort of like to pull out that false chord as a secret weapon.
Yeah.
But rely more on the fry. So a lot of this, and this is mostly what I'm doing, but every now and then you'll throw in one of those. But that way you're just not for a whole set, which is much spendier, especially for people like us that we speak a little higher. and just relying more on that Fry style with the voice in there. And there's just so much dynamic to his voice because of it.
That's something that I've noticed watching you live. Mine is an octave lower there, as well as mine. Really tight, like almost Nashville style harmonies behind there. Woo! A guitar solo.
Beautiful.
Oh, we'll get to that breakdown in a second.
Wow.
But the interaction that the vocals have with the guitar solo, this is something that I first noticed back in the the Seattle grunge days, where guitar solos weren't really a thing anymore because they were trying to go the other direction because of the 80s. Everybody played too many guitar solos.
Sure. Yeah.
And then in the 90s, you had some guitar solos, but you had this wonderful interaction between what was happening in the guitar solo and then ad-libs with the vocalist.
Yeah.
And
it's a call and response thing. It's cool.
Totally. And this is a much more refreshed version of that because you hear Sam pulling out all of his textures. He's got that angelic, soaring, melodic thing going. There's a scream in there. There's some lows. There's all sorts of things. Let's listen to that again. And that delay trail he's got on that, it's perfect.
It's in there, and it invokes the theme of the song. The motif is there, but it's not overpowering the solo. I think that a band that has been around this long and stood the test of time and is actually still, they're peaking now. They're going up, up, up. It's not like past, like they're in their prime, and they've been around for so long. You refine your songwriting. That's how you stay alive. Is they have tried so much and have recorded and played so much. They know, they're finding out, this works well for us. This doesn't work. This does work. And, just years of crystallizing that songwriting and understanding where to leave space and where to let certain things shine. It goes a really long way.
And never heavier. This is a heavy, heavy Architect song.
Right. And that's kind of the thing too. It's like, they get to still be heavy during the verses and the breakdowns and stuff. It gives people that the grit they want, but still having a very accessible, catchy, radio-friendly chorus, which I have no problem with that because it is shiny and beautiful and earwormy and very sick.
If you can't hum it after you hear it once or twice, then you'll just forget it. So
right, and it's not like every band has to go for that sort of thing. But once again, a band that's this successful, stood the test of time. They know what works. Wow.
Whoa. So that's a lot of mouth shape right there, right? Like it's not just that he's false.
Can I break that down, please? I need to talk about this. Wow. Okay, so that bit in particular, when he started doing his proper scream, it sounded way more raw and vulnerable right there. It sounded like it was just one center track, they made this tactical decision, and he was a little bit more of his voice was coming through. Like whoa, and just letting it be vulnerable there, and then they added that like stack of on top of it for the flavor. Oh man,
it was a lot more like sing screamy and less all out scream there. Even though he wasn't singing notes, it was more like that technique.
Yeah, just a really vulnerable, raw moment amongst a song filled with big stacks and layers and polish. So it's really awesome to sort of strip it back, and I'm sure that was a mindful decision. Just being like, okay, I think this is a good time to bring it back and be vulnerable, and then hit him again with that grittier false chord scream. I love it, man. I love to analyze and overanalyze stuff like that. Fuck, dude.
Sky's the limit
Sick.
is mint.
Sky is the limit! He's very, it's coming from here, advice!
Yeah.
God, he's got so much control. He knows what the fuck is up, man. And then also, that false chord layer, again, it wasn't like, it was like,
yeah.
Again, a big air dump and a lot of voice.
Yeah, sort of grunty almost.
Personality. Yeah, very primal,
Yeah.
Cool as fuck.
They're so distorted too. I mean, they've got the drive plugin just cranked on that.
Yeah, this is the absolute climax of heaviness in the song. And I think like it's almost like employing everything that we heard that was cool about the song, and then here it is all at once at the end. Fucking spectacular. The code at the center of the Dude, what a crazy song and video. Oh my God, that video. I'd like to comment on just that last bit we heard there.
Yeah.
Again, with that lower scream, switching from the fry to the false chord.
Right.
And it kind of reminded me of, I usually attribute this to a band called The Devil Wears Prada, their singer Mike.
Yes.
He's got this like really like primal, chesty, low scream. Yeah, you know what I mean? It's got like just more voice in it, but in a really cool way, and I love to hear that flavor in there. That was great.
Yeah, looser, and it's just another texture that Sam is putting in there to create this massive soundscape of vocals.
Sounds, yes. He has a soundscape of tools at his disposal. He has so many tricks. This is, definitely one of those vocal idols in this genre. Something to aspire to and inspire. Man, it's amazing to see, and this is like that is it for me. That's kind of what I chase after too, is being able to do all these different things and then employ them strategically in your own music. So Architects, Sam, fucking great job on that, man. That was my first time hearing it, so really cool.
Thanks again, Andy, for going through this with me. Super fun to have your initial reaction and insights. Be sure to check out this playlist for more videos that Andy and I have done together. And again, if you want to go deeper with Andy, he teaches this stuff day in and day out, in addition to being on tour, in addition to making recordings. Click the link below in the pinned comment and start by joining his free warm-ups course.
Yes, sir.
We'll see you for more.